this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I am here to have a play around. Basically, I was inspired by a beautiful project made by Robindudleyhowes. She made a lovely, like a pouch thing. So if you saw my recent video, I said that I had used some matte finish photo quality matte finish paper, which I absolutely loved. The quality of the prints were fantastic. However, when I coffee dyed it, the paper went very yellow. So you can see there, you know, it's gone very yellow, more like turmeric stained rather than coffee stained, which I was really disappointed when that happened. And again, I still don't know whether that's the coffee or the paper that's done that. Let me just zoom out slightly. Kind of raise my camera a bit. Yeah, I still don't know whether it was the paper or the coffee that I used, because I used, you know, ground coffee rather than instant coffee, what I normally would use. But I wanted to come on then or I wanted to use up, sorry, some of the bits that I had made that, you know, turned out very yellow. So I thought this was the perfect project because obviously a lot of the papers are glued down and you don't really see the underside. So although this is now looking quite yellow, I quite like it like that. So yeah, if I show you basically, let me move these things out of the way and show you what I've got so far. So I've made this pouch basically from a paper bag. So this was from an old paper bag. It was a Levi bag that my son had, and he just kind of dumped off his rubbish into my room and said, oh, you know, Mum, had to clear out, here's some bags I thought you might like. You know, one evening when I was kind of getting ready for bed, and he just came in and was like, oh, thought you might like these. So of course I went through them, you know, a few days later, and yep, sure enough, retrieved the Levi's bag. So it's made a really great size pouch, and I've just stitched it round on the sewing machine. I've stitched obviously some of the floral papers onto it. I've glued this one on. These are all kind of new printables that are in my shop. And then on the back, again, I stitched this centerpiece onto here. And then I've glued this section down on here. And then all I have done otherwise is I've taken another envelope, and you can see I've glued it down, stitched it around on the outside with the, you know, some more pattern paper on. And these are from my vintage Victorian florals background pages, all of these floral papers. So yeah, they're obviously all in my shop. But I thought that that looked really lovely. And then I'm going to just glue this on here as a sort of side pocket like that. So we've got this side and this side. So if I just do this first, I want to make this really lovely and really, you know, lots of lace and just, yeah, really scrumptious and vintage and hopefully really, you know, nice looking. So yeah, let's just kind of go for it and have a bit of a play around. Might need to flick the camera off if I can't find, oh no, it's okay. I wanted some coffee dyed doily, which I knew that I had some, but I wasn't sure whether I would be able to find it. So this one, obviously, again, you can see, you know, the coffee has really stained it very dark. So I wasn't too sure whether I'm overly liking it, but actually it might be quite nice on this particular project, because I want it very grungy and, you know, very, what's the word? Well, just grungy, I guess, really is the word. So yeah, hopefully that's going to look good on there. So I'm just grabbing, got some coffee dyed lace here, and I've also got this coffee dyed lace, so we're going to incorporate some of that. And then I wanted one of my vintage photos printables on there. Oh, I thought I'd done another one. Hang on a minute, guys, because I don't want obviously the same picture on those two pieces. It's the usual scenario where you come along thinking you've got everything that you need, you know, laid out perfectly, and then as soon as you go to film, you haven't. There we go, it was there. So I'm going to have that on there, and this on here. So I'm just going to take my distress ink. Now, obviously all of this stuff, you know, as I say, has been coffee dyed, which was what spurred this on in the first place, was the very yellow coffee dye. The paper bag hasn't, but obviously that was a brown, you know, brown paper bag. So just going to ink around a little bit on the edges so it's got a nice, you know, vintagey feel. Not that you're going to see very much of that bag at all, but just in case you do, really. So we just go right the way around like that. And then I'm just going to ink up this photo again. I have already, you know, roughed up the edges with the scissors. Like that. And this envelope obviously has been already coffee dyed. So I will just ink it up a little bit more, but you know, it doesn't really need it, to be honest. So like that. Okay. So I want to have it this way up here. I just want to now get the placement right for my other pieces. So if we're going to have this piece of doily there, and I would quite like this little piece here, maybe on some lace, I think. So again, I've got this one, which, you know, not vintage or anything, but I've coffee dyed this lace, which then just looks really, hopefully really nice. So let's just cut that down. And then I'm going to hopefully incorporate this one as well, which this is an old top that I have been using a lot lately. First time that I have coffee dyed it, I have been just using it, you know, as it was, which was a sort of off-white colour. But yeah, it's coffee dyed up quite well, so, you know, looks really nice and grungy. So hopefully it's going to be a good one to have on here. So I'm just placing my pieces around before I commit to anything, because I don't want to glue anything down and then wish that I hadn't, basically. So I just want to, you know, make sure that everything's going to be how I want it. Do we like the doily in there, or do we think it's better without the doily? It's probably better with, isn't it? Because, you know, it's all more interesting with a bit more. So just pop that one down there, I think. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is actually glue that doily down. I mean, to be honest, it's probably better that colour. But obviously then the doily's upside down, which is that scratchy, you know, not smooth surface. Does that matter? Oh, it doesn't really, does it? No one's going to be running their finger over it, I suppose. So let's glue it that way. So like that. Okay. Just press that one down. And then we're going to have that there. So again, do I want any doily coming out behind here? Oops. That's quite nice like that. Now, I'm still undecided about this piece of lace here, because although it has been coffee dyed, it's got a sort of white bit showing through, if that makes sense. So I'm not 100% sure that I want to actually have that there. If I don't have that there, we could back it onto some book page or something. I'm just checking that I'm filming and that I'm in frame. So let's just trim this down. It's got sort of a seam here, so just cut that down there, and then a little bit there. I'm going to have that hanging off like that. So if we wanted this on here, but you see, once you take that away, it looks really boring, doesn't it? So is it better? Is it better with, or is it better without? Let me put it back. And then of course we're going to have something on this side, so again let's just pull in a couple of other things. So I've got this white, which I know sounds really weird, but I just wondered whether the white might be like a really nice contrast. I just, for some reason, I really like mixing the white with the vintage. I don't know why, but for some reason for me, I just think that looks really cool when you mix the white with the vintage. It, I don't know. I don't know what I quite like about it, but something very, well, I guess probably quite striking about it, but it just brings everything to life, sort of thing. I'm just going to pop that down. I'm just doing that with the hot glue because that then holds that lace down underneath that piece. Then we're going to have this piece here, and then I think this on here as well would be rather nice. So let's do this one here. So again, we'll just pop this doily down. Like that. Now, and we've got our vintage photo there. Do we want that backed onto anything? Either lace or like book page or something? Let me just see what I've got laying around. Oh, which of course I have nothing laying around that's at all suitable. Now, where is all my book page, I wonder? It's very strange, isn't it? Right, hold on 2 moments, guys. So just reach and get some book page. Oops, she says, and now what have I done with my book page? I was keeping a load beside me, but obviously I've used it up now. Right, hold on. Okay, so I've got some book page here. So I'm thinking we'll just back this onto there. Oops. Okay. Oops, come on. Okay. So we will just then, I think I'm going to ink it up first actually. Might just be slightly easier to do that first. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you're doing some crafting and having a nice time. The sun is shining here. It feels very warm, I have to say. I haven't stepped outside yet, but it looks blue skies. It feels very, very hot up here. So yeah, hopefully it's a lovely day. Well, I mean, it is a lovely day, but you know, hopefully it's nice and hot outside. Nice and warm anyway. Okay, cut that round. So I'm just going to rough these edges up slightly. And obviously, I mean, book page is pretty flimsy, so they are sort of tearing a bit. I quite like that. I realise that's not everybody's thing, but, you know, to me that now looks quite old, whereas before it just looked like I had cut some book page around it, so which obviously I had. So I like this, you know, like there, where that's now curled up. To me, that looks now much more authentically vintage. So yeah. Okay. So I'm going to now glue this on. So So I'm just, I think, going to hot glue this down. So going right the way around my envelope, as close as I can to the edge, like that. And then I'm just placing that onto my pouch, like that. Okay. So you've got then a really nice big pocket there. And then I'm going to just glue this lace here, hanging off to the side, like that. Okie dokie. And we're going to pop this one down here. Okie dokie. Yeah, I've really enjoyed making this so far. It's just been really nice to make, so I wanted to come along and do a little bit with you guys because I thought that you also might quite enjoy the process. So I'm just going to have that little bit of white, I think, here. Again, let me just tear this a little bit so it's a bit more tatty. Otherwise, again, it just looks like it's being bought, which of course it has, you know, but I prefer it if it looks a little bit sort of more scrappy and, you know, like it's been laying about for a bit. So there we go. Even better, even better. Let me have a torn piece completely. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that down there. So I'm just going to apply my hot glue direct to, you know, what's hopefully the thicker parts of that lace. So let me just pop that down like that. Okay. Super pretty. I'm just going to glue this piece down there. Okay, I have got some flowers here, which they might not really go anywhere, but you know, it's worth always trying these things, isn't it? Just in case they look all right. The other thing that I've got, which again, I don't know how this would look, but I've got these little sort of fabric pieces that I made a few weeks ago, off camera. I didn't make them on camera. I just wondered whether we could have had one of those there. Obviously these have got black lace, which I probably would have preferred it without the black lace, to be fair. So I might hold fire on that and just, you know, wait and see, just in case I change my mind. Although I have got some other pieces which I'd already stamped but didn't get round to sewing. So these are just on those chino fabrics. I can't even remember what I had used that for. I think I might have used it for the button embellishments that we did in the mass making, I think. So anyway, it's just from that left over. So they're stamped now. So obviously I haven't stitched this on the sewing machine, but I could maybe just have that somewhere. So again, let me just see. I would have liked some Hessian, but I don't think I have any here to hand, which is a bit of a shame. Well, the worst of it is I probably have got some here, but I obviously can't see it. Let's just see. No, can't see any so far. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame, because it would have looked really good, I think, on some Hessian. No, I can't see any. Of course, obviously, if I, you know, use this, the second I've stuck it down, I will obviously spot some. because that's normally what happens, isn't it? The second you change your mind and kind of think, oh well, I'll go with something else, that's the second you're going to then spot some and see that you did have it all along. So I'm just wondering, I mean, she might not be right on there anyway, to be honest, but I just thought I would give it a try because it was something else that I had, you know, laying around, and I just thought, oh, that might look quite good on there. Oh, she might not anyway, to be honest, but she might look okay on the other side. So yeah, I'm probably not going to put her on there after all that hunting around for something to put her on. Right, I've got some more white lace here, which oh, I can't decide how to have this now. Hang on. Oh, I've also got some of this gorgeous vintage doily. Let's just snip that. I love these doilies when you just kind of hang them like in random ways on stuff. I think they just look really, really lovely. So maybe we should have that just there or something. Oh, I quite like that there. So again, just glue that down. Constantly knocking things on the floor. Well, not even on the floor, but into my carrier bag that I use for my rubbish bin. Oh, no, I'm losing my hot glue gun off the desk. Come on, stay up. Okay. Oh, now I'm dragging another piece of lace around with everything. So, right, now, I also wanted to have some blingy trim. So I've got this blingy trim here. Where would I like that? I like this in 3. I think is really nice. Do I want it that side or do I want it that side? And the other thing, I do want one of my book plates on here. And again, I've got the big ones or I have got some smaller ones. I think I might go for a smaller one. Maybe that one. And then I might have a big one on the other side, who knows. So we'll just cut that. Okay. So we've got that. Should we have that up there or down there? Perhaps we'll have it there. It's quite nice. Now, I was going to just straight away put my brads on there, but I'm just going to see how it would look with a couple of those flat back pearls. And again, I mean, I used to use these all the time. Oh gosh, look at how monstrous that is. Oh, it's huge, huge. Yeah, I used to use them all the time. Obviously really in flowers, but I don't seem to be using them so much anymore. So I just suddenly thought, oh, perhaps I could use one of those big ones, but maybe on one of the big book plates, who knows? Maybe then it would look, you know, nice and not like a huge, great big boulder that's just landed on the piece. So okay, just trim that down. Just find another brad. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, pop that in there. Again, do we want to have that on a piece of lace or anything? Oh yeah, That's nice, isn't it? So just going to cut that out. Just trim it down slightly because it's pretty big. Okay, and I'm just going to place that there, I think. Okie dokie. Okay, press that down. Just ink that a bit. I noticed a sort of torn piece of paper just looking quite white there. Now my only thing is it's looking very plain at the top, so I'm loving how the bottom is looking. Let me check that I'm in frame and you can see the top and the bottom. Yeah, I'm loving how the bottom's looking. The top is looking quite plain. So let me just see if we can do anything about that. I mean, we could have that there. Does that then look like a sort of triangle? A bit weird. Maybe on that side. Yeah, I quite like it up there, I think. And no. Right, hold on. Let's just have a look. That's quite nice. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this down. So again, actually, I think there is a right and a wrong side to this. So just going to try and apply the glue to the thicker parts of this, which of course, you know, this is very open, so there is not a great deal to apply the glue to, but just like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to trim this off. I haven't decided whether I would want this here or not, but it's just, oh gosh, everything's sticking to me. Okie dokie. So again, if I just put that there, we could have it like that. Move it, put it back. Oh, you know what I've done? I've just covered up that entire piece of doily, to be honest. Honestly, sometimes you just question what you do, don't you? And think, well, why did I bother? Why did I bother sticking the doily down? Okay. Right, there we go. Okay, so I'm really liking that now. Haven't committed to that bling yet because I haven't quite decided where I want it. I think probably down there, but I'm just going to resist for 5 minutes while I just kind of decide. So I'm going to turn over now to do the other side. So on this side, just going to again ink it up a little bit, just like around the edges. Like that. And then I had already made a like corner piece for this side. So if I just pull that in, bear with me while I find it. Okay, here we go. So I'd already made this piece to attach onto here, which I thought looked really nice. And then I did wonder about some other bits, but I don't want to sort of overdo it, you know, with the same pieces is what I mean. Don't really want to bring in other things, I think. Oh, she says as she's then bringing in other things. Okay, so I've got my bigger book plates. Let's just have a look and see about one of those. I quite like that orangey colour. Hold on. Do you know what? I said I quite like that orangey colour, and then what did I do? I cut out that one instead. Honestly, what is wrong with me? I know I'm going for a totally different one again now, but because I think the one we stuck on the other side said journal, so I didn't really want two saying journal, so this one also is a bit of an orange. So I'm just going to cut that one down instead. Just get into that time of day where I'm needing a cup of tea. Right, let's move that. Could have it up there. And then again, I'm going to have some of the doilies, some of the lace and things like that. So again, let's just cut this one down. Could have that there. Now, did think I'd quite like to have a flower on here, so I'm going to have to probably go off and dig out some flowers in a minute, but I have got those ones that we dyed. That's quite nice, to be honest, but it's maybe not vintage enough, but I do quite like it though, actually. I have got a browner one. Oh, maybe that one's better, actually. That one's a bit bright, but yeah, the browner one maybe is better. Right, so let's just trim off a bit of this as well. I mean, I really like to just, you know, randomly snip pieces off of here. It's one of those pieces that just works fantastically everywhere I hold it. So yeah, I'm going to be sorry when this top's used up. I mean, it's not a vintage item or anything, but it's one of those that just, you can pull it around and it just, you know, takes on really quite an eclectic sort of vintage vibe. So it's been really good. It wasn't my top, I think it was my mum's actually, but it's one of those that's been really handy to use. It must have been like a tunic thing, I think, because there was quite a bit of material on it. Okay. Well, maybe I don't like that book plate there. I need something else on here, and I can't decide what now. Perhaps I need something more, I don't know. Or maybe, well, what have I done with that piece of fabric? What did I do with that just now? The piece of fabric that we toyed with on the other side, what did I do with that? No? Oh, isn't it annoying when then you can't find something. You go to use it and then you can't find it. I must have just moved it out the way slightly, so... I can't find it there either. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? And again, as soon as I give up and, you know, go with something else, of course it's going to then appear, you know, right where I wanted it. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, there it is, look. There it is. So, let's just see whether she would go anywhere. Could have her there. Again, maybe on a piece of lace, so... maybe there. Let's just trim her down. Okie dokie. Do we like her up there? I think maybe we need some doily on here. Let's just put a bit of doily down. So, and actually I've got some more that I coffee dyed recently, and that's not half so dark as the one on the other side, so it can just go straight down, you know, right way up. Don't have to turn it over or anything. That's quite nice, isn't it? Or do we prefer it here? Or maybe here, actually. Yeah, maybe there. So this one, in fact, not dark enough. So now I'm having to even ink it up. Some people are just never happy, aren't they? 1 minute it's too dark. Not dark enough. Oh, I can just never please some people, honestly. Right. So I want to just hold that like that, roughly where it's going to be stuck, so that I make sure that I have that doily, you know, roughly where I want it to be. Okay. Then I might just stick this piece down now. Now I was going to have this as a pocket. I'm debating whether I do want it as a pocket or not, to be honest. Okay. Right, I'm just going to glue that down in its, you know, the way it is, I think. So, not as a pocket. Okay. So, all around there. Like that. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. Then we're going to have this piece here. Just like that, I think. So again, I'm just going to try and go into some of those more solid parts. But like I say, I mean, it's very tricky to actually get any solid parts, to be honest, because it's a very gappy doily. Very gappy piece. Okay. Then we're going to have this one down here. Or I guess we could have it up there, actually. Perhaps we need some there. And then, should we have some white on here, like we did on the other side? Oh look, I had cut that piece for that. I thought I had as I was cutting it, but I just couldn't quite remember. So I obviously had. Right, well I definitely like this piece here, so just going to glue that down there. undecided where this would be best. So again, do we want that going right the way along? Just a little bit. No, I think right the way along. So I'm just going to trim that down now. Again, trying to be a bit straggly. So again, just, you know, tear it out a little bit. Okay. So like that. I'm just going to glue this one down. I think that's the right way up. And again, I'm just going to hold this in place now and glue a bit more on the solid pieces. Not that there are many, but just like that. And then a bit here. Like that, okay. Okie dokie. Right. Now, where am I going to put this? That's the question. Or do I not want to put it anywhere, maybe? Maybe that's the issue here. Maybe she just doesn't really go anywhere. Because this is my pouch here. So, I mean, she could go up there, but she's going to be like falling into the pouch. Does that matter? She looks okay there, doesn't she? She does look okay there, but I've still got then this space here. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 not that. Right, we've got our flower there, which I do really like that flower on here, actually. I have to say, it looks really pretty, doesn't it? Okay, what else have I got? See what else I've got laying around. Well, we could have another piece of lace, to be honest. Like that. It's quite nice, isn't it? Now, Robin also did this amazing bow, I have to say, which just looks so, you know, straggly and gorgeous, and oh, I just really, really loved it. I haven't really got any of the seam binding stuff or anything like that to be able to do anything, you know, quite like that, to be honest. I'm having a look around at the moment to see whether I've got anything that would work. Let me just have a look. Well, I haven't really, but I have got some of this ivory lace, which, you know, obviously it's not really kind of the same type of thing at all, but I might just try and see what, you know, what it would look like. So if I just make a bow, and again, I mean, she had like some spritz stuff. Well, there might have just been water actually, but spritzed it and things and made it look really grungy and vintage. Again, I don't have any of that type of stuff here, so you know, we're just going to improvise a little bit. Okay. I wonder whether she did more than one strand, actually. Kind of thinking maybe she did. Oh well. This is quite thick, so to be honest, if we did two, it would maybe be too bulky. Let me just have a look on the other end. So if we took two, that might just make it huge. Huge. Right, let's just move that along. Oh. Yeah, it's coming out pretty bulky already. Oh my gosh, look. Yeah, I mean, that's not the delicate appearance that she had with hers, so I don't think I'd best bulk it out like that. So that's fine, I can just go for this. So again, I'm just going to trim that off. Oh, look, what an idiot. Just trimmed that stem just way too short there, but never mind. Never mind. Again, you know, just anything goes, doesn't it? So, I mean, that looks really pretty, to be honest, just as it is, but I'm just going to ink it up a little bit, make it look a little bit more grungy like she did. Now hers, obviously, she screwed it up quite a lot and things. This is obviously that lace that's not really going to screw up. So, you know, with the best will in the world, I'm not really going to be able to achieve that look, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm going to have to just leave it as is, I think. But that's fine. I mean, I think that looks quite pretty as it is. So, like that. So let's just bring our folder in. She kind of did all this stuff where she was like bending it round. But yeah, I mean, this lace is not really going to be very pliable like that. So I don't think that's going to really work. Okay. Well, we'll just go for it like that, to be honest. So, and perhaps we'll have the lace, the bow up there. So I'm just going to glue this down here, running along the bottom. Like that. And then obviously I just want to glue this top piece down, so just trying to be very delicate so as I don't have too much glue on there, like that. Okay, and then my bow I'm going to have over here. Do I want to ink it up anymore? Oh well, just ink it up a little bit more. I do wonder whether I should cut this seam bit, whether that would make it look a bit more scraggly. If I do the same on this side. So I'm cutting it, but I'm leaving it, if you see what I mean. So it's just like another bit hanging. That just makes it a bit more interesting to look at. And then again on that side. So the annoying thing is it probably sits better that way, doesn't it, when you glue it? Oh well. Oh well, we will just do it this way. So I'm just going to glue that there. Again, I'm just going to take the hot glue to that. Okay. Okay. Oh, really pretty. Okay, like that. Now, do we like that up there? I mean, it's just another dimension, really. I mean, we could put something else up there as well, just to break it all up. So maybe we'll do that. So just, again, rough up these edges a bit so it's a bit more life going on with it rather than just a, you know, piece of paper. So I'm just going to ink that up. And again, I would just wet glue that. Okay, pop that down here, like that. And then this one, I'm just going to ink that lace a little bit more. I mean, it is coffee dyed, but just so it's a little bit more inked again. So we just pop that down there, so it's a little bit tricky to get to. So I'm going to hold the lace down. I'm not going to be able to do this very well, am I? So what I might do is glue my hot glue like that. Press this into there. like that. Okay. And then obviously you can just go round any edge pieces and just attach any, you know, any of the pieces that have been missed. You can just go round and get those like that. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, I really like how that's looking now. Wondering whether to have this flower on this side now, because now I've got that bow, kind of preferring it more neutral, I think. So I think the flower's better on this side. Just going to glue this down. And this is literally just one of those Hawaiian flowers, you know, that we just changed in that, working with old supplies in that series. And this is a foam dot that we then again altered with some gold and some glossy accents. Wow, it looks really windy outside. Okay, so the only thing that I haven't so far done is I haven't put any bling on this, which, oh my gosh, can you believe it? So let's just check what bling we want and where we want it. So of course I have my favourite, my black bling here. So I'm just going to trim that down. I've just cut like a two strip. No, not sure about that. Right, I did have some flower bling. Oh, here we go. I think this is all I have left of this, so I'm obviously being a bit stingy and don't really want to use it. I might have some more, you know, maybe I do have some more, but I don't know where it is. I know that when I went to buy some more of it, I got it from that Wish app, they didn't have it. Although I haven't looked for a long time, to be honest, so they maybe do have it again now. So, right, just going to fill that in. Whoa, burnt my hand there a bit. Okay, right, I'm going to glue these onto here. So I'm just going to start with this one, and then I'm going to pick up the others and glue them down. So that's that one, and then we'll just go along these two. Okay, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, and we have a bling free zone so far on this side as well, so oh my gosh, you know, we cannot just leave it bling free, can we? So again, just pull these ones in. I don't know whether they're quite right, to be honest. I have got like an old necklace piece here, which is obviously very blingy. It's a bit too thick. I'm not sure. Not sure. So I might just leave that bling free for a moment, or, you know, for the time being, while I just have a think about what else I could put there, because I might have some other stuff that I've not thought of yet. So yeah, rather than rush and then put something on and think, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, I might just hold fire. So yeah, but I hope that you like our loaded pouch so far. I just absolutely love how it looks. It's so pretty, and you know, just feels really, really yummy and lovely. So yeah, I hope that you like it, and thank you very much for joining me. I will see you all again soon. Thanks then. Bye.